The highway stretched like a silver thread under the July sun, the kind that burns through windshields and makes silence louder. My mother sat in the passenger seat, one hand on her coffee, the other constantly scrolling her phone. My father drove like he always did. Tight grip, clenched jaw, no words unless they were commands. In the back seat, my little girl, Lily, was humming softly, tracing clouds through the glass with her tiny finger. She was 7, sweet, talkative, and the only real light I had left in this family's long corridor of darkness. "Turn the music down," Mom snapped suddenly, lowering her sunglasses. "Her noise is giving me a headache. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video." Lily froze mid-song. I reached back, brushing her hair. "It's okay, sweetheart. You can hum quietly." Mom turned her head toward me. "No, it's not okay. That child doesn't know how to behave. Always moving, talking, fidgeting, just like you did." She took a sip of her coffee and added, "You never learned your place either." Dad grunted, eyes still on the road. "The apple doesn't fall far from the tree." "You raised her soft." I swallowed hard. "I'm raising her kind." That got a scoff from both of them. Mom shook her head with a smile that wasn't a smile at all. "Kindness doesn't feed families. Obedience does." We were hours from home when it happened. The fight, the one that split something inside me forever. Lily had spilled some juice on the back seat. Just a few drops, nothing serious, but Mom's voice came sharp like broken glass. "Unbelievable! You can't even control your own kid." "It was an accident," I said, turning to wipe it up with tissues. Mom's face twisted. "Accident? That's what you said when you got pregnant, too." My hands froze mid-air. "What did you just say?" She leaned closer. "You heard me. We took you in after your mistake. We let you stay. We even let that girl." She pointed at Lily. "Live under our roof, and this is how you repay us? With noise, mess, and embarrassment?" Lily's voice trembled from the back seat. "I'm sorry, Grandma. I didn't mean to." Mom turned around, her voice suddenly icy. "Don't call me that. You're not my real grandchild." Something inside me cracked. "Stop it, Mom." Dad slammed the brakes so hard the car screeched. We pulled over to the side of the highway. Cars rushed past in blurs of color. He turned in his seat, eyes narrow and cold. "You don't tell your mother what to do. She's right. You and that girl have been nothing but baggage since you showed up here." I grabbed Lily's hand. "We can leave if you hate us that much." Mom smirked. "Oh, don't worry. I'll help you pack right now." Before I could react, she opened her door, came around to the back seat, and yanked the door open. "Out!" Lily clung to me, terrified. "Mommy!" "Out!" Mom screamed, grabbing Lily's wrist. "Stop! What are you doing?" I shouted, scrambling to unbuckle and pull Lily back. Mom's voice was chillingly calm as she pulled harder. "We don't carry baggage on family trips. You can thank yourself for raising one." Lily stumbled out onto the side of the road, tears streaking down her face, dust swirling around her sneakers. "Drive," Dad ordered, his tone flat, as if he were talking about trash pickup. I was frozen for a second, disbelief flooding me. "You're not serious. She's a child." He looked at me through the mirror. "So were you when you started ruining our lives." Mom got back in the car, slamming the door. Maybe this will teach her something about consequences. I couldn't breathe. The road roared in my ears. Lily stood there, trembling, clutching her little backpack like it was armor. "Go back!" I screamed. But the car moved forward. I turned around in my seat, watching my daughter's small figure fade in the rearview mirror. The world blurred, my throat burned, and some quiet, dangerous fire, began to grow in the space where my heart used to be. I whispered one sentence to myself through clenched teeth. "This isn't over." And it wasn't. The next morning, I woke up in a motel bed that smelled faintly of bleach and fear. Lily's head was buried against my arm, her small fingers clutching my sleeve even in her sleep. Her skin was still scratched where my mother had pulled her. I didn't sleep that night. My mind replayed every second on that highway. Her scream, my parents' faces, the sound of the car door slamming shut. Every heartbeat echoed the same question. How could they? When Lily stirred, I brushed her hair back and whispered, "You're safe now." She blinked up at me, her eyes still red. "Grandma said I'm not family." I bit the inside of my cheek to keep from crying. "She doesn't know what family means." I bought a used phone from a gas station, called in sick to work, and rented a small apartment near town. I didn't want my parents to know where we were. They'd taught me what their version of love looked like, conditional, cruel, and proud of it. I wasn't going to let them touch my daughter again. Weeks passed. I started a second job at a diner. Lily started smiling again, even making friends at her new school. Every paycheck, every meal cooked together felt like building a new wall between us and them. But walls don't always keep memories out. Sometimes they echo. Because one afternoon, my phone buzzed with a message I didn't expect. "Mom, your father's in the hospital. He wants to see you." For a long moment, I just stared at it. No apology, no remorse, just expectation. Lily came up beside me, holding her coloring book. "Mommy, who's that?" "No one important," I said. But deep down, something twisted. I didn't want to go back, but I also didn't want them to think I'd disappeared weak. The next day, I drove to the hospital. Lily stayed with a neighbor. The smell of antiseptic and quiet guilt filled the air. My mother was sitting beside my father's bed, makeup perfect, expression stiff. She looked up. "You came." I stood in the doorway. "He called me baggage. Guess I came to see what happens when people drop what matters." Her lips tightened. "He's sick. Don't make this about the past." "The past made me," I said quietly. My father's voice cracked through the silence. "You think you're better than us now? You think working double shifts and living in a shoebox makes you a hero?" I stared at him. "No, but it makes me human. Something you never were." His jaw clenched. Mom turned away, arms crossed. "You're cruel," she muttered, "after everything we did for you." I laughed, low and hollow. "Everything you did to me, you mean?" I could have walked away then, and maybe I should have. But I wanted them to see it, the power they never thought I'd have. I reached into my bag, took out an envelope, and placed it on the small table next to him. "What's that?" Mom asked, eyes narrowing. "Something you left behind on that road," I said. "Your conscience." I turned to leave, but Mom grabbed my arm. "We raised you." "No," I said, pulling free. "You raised a warning." When I got home, Lily ran into my arms. "Are they coming back?" I smiled softly, brushing her hair. "Not this time. They're lost, sweetheart. Some people never find the road back." And for the first time, I felt peace. Not revenge, not rage, just the quiet certainty that I had escaped something deadly. But the story wasn't over yet, because what I didn't expect was their next move, the one that would make me decide, once and for all, what they truly deserved. By the time autumn rolled around, everything about me had changed. My walk, my voice, even the way I held a coffee cup. But the scar inside, the one left on that highway, never fully healed. Lily had just started 3rd grade. She was laughing again, stronger now, braver. Her laughter was sunlight on the ruins of everything my parents destroyed. Every time I saw her smile, I swore I'd never let anyone make her cry again. Then, one night, a message came, short, desperate. "Mom, your father lost his job. We're about to lose the house. Please, we need help." I stared at it for a long time, my hands cold. The same hands that had held Lily on the side of a highway while my parents drove away laughing. I could have ignored it. I could have blocked her number, gone to bed, and forgotten the people who forgot me. But something inside whispered, "Not yet." Not until they understood what real loss felt like. "So," I replied, "Meet me at the diner tomorrow, 10 a.m. When they walked in the next morning, they looked smaller. My father's once commanding presence was gone. His shoulders sagged, and my mother's face was lined with exhaustion, but her eyes still had that familiar spark, pride masquerading as dignity. "Clara," Mom said softly, trying to smile. "You look, well." "I am," I said. You look desperate. She blinked. Dad frowned. We didn't come here for insults. No, I said, leaning back. You came here because you're about to lose everything. Just like I almost lost my daughter because of you. Mom's jaw tightened. That was years ago. Don't, I snapped. The diner went quiet. Don't you dare call it years ago. You left a child on the side of a highway and drove away. You laughed while she cried for you. Dad's voice cracked. We made a mistake. I leaned forward. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. Mom's lip trembled. We were angry. You were difficult. We didn't know how to handle you. I cut her off again. You handled me like garbage. You treated my daughter like she was nothing. And now you want me to help you? Her hands shook. We raised you. You raised me to survive pain, not to cause it. But you forgot one thing. Pain remembers. I reached into my purse and pulled out an envelope. Mom's eyes lit up, thinking it was money. I placed it on the table, calm as ever. She tore it open and froze. Inside were the hospital bills I'd paid for Lily's therapy, the motel receipts, the rent payments, every cost of rebuilding my life after they broke it. On the last page was a handwritten note. The debt you left behind isn't money, it's memories. You'll live with yours. I already did. Mom covered her mouth. Dad looked away. I stood up, dropping a few dollars on the table for the coffee. You can sell your furniture, your car, your pride. Maybe then you'll understand what real baggage feels like. As I turned to leave, I heard Mom's voice crack behind me, barely a whisper. Clara, we're sorry. I stopped, looked over my shoulder, and said quietly, so was I. Once. Outside, the air smelled of rain and change. I got into my car, and before driving off, I called home. Hi, sweetheart, I said, as Lily's voice lit up the phone. Mom, did you get them what they needed? I smiled faintly, eyes on the dark clouds ahead. I gave them exactly what they earned. When I drove away, I didn't look back. For once, the road didn't feel like escape. It felt like arrival, because for the first time, I was the one leaving them behind. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.